Just a perfect day for football here in the Ocean State as we send it down to the third member of our team, Zach Austin. Zach?
Stone, you nailed it right on the head. A perfect day, 75 and sunny for what seems like the first time this year at Meade Stadium. As you mentioned in the open, two teams heading in different directions going into this weekend. New Hampshire still fighting for the playoffs. They have the top offense in the CAA, led by Max Brosmer, who is first in the nation in touchdown passes. Rhode Island, led by quarterback Kasim Hill, still looking for a winning season here in 2023. He's first in the nation in passing yards, but the key motivation for Rhode Island in this one is the result up in Durham last year. A last-second touchdown pass for New Hampshire ultimately eliminated Rhode Island from contention. And for a number of these players on this team, this one is personal. Stone?
Thanks so much, Zach. It's Randy Jordan when we send it down now to Zach Austin, third member of our team. Zach?
Stone, thank you. A new look coming for fans at Meade Stadium by the end of this season. In the south end zone, there is a new video board that is now completed. It's not operational yet for this game, but should be ready for the home finale November 11th against North Carolina A&T. It's part of a $82.3 million overall renovation project to restore the Meade Stadium East Stands along with other athletic facilities, including the soccer field, baseball and soccer field, and the outdoor track. Again, should be ready for the final home game of the year. The temporary control room for it already is complete as well. Stone?
As we send it down to the third member of our team, again, it's Zach Austin. Zach?
Stone, thank you. Rhodey linebacker AJ Pena graduated high school on the earlier side. He was 17 years old. He knew he needed more time to adjust before making the leap to the next level. So he enrolled in Milford Academy in New Jersey, and it's there where he converted from a defensive end to an outside linebacker. Rhode Island liked what they saw from him at that level, offered him a scholarship. He enrolled early in the spring of 2022, participated in the spring camp, and since then he has converted into an outside linebacker and performed highly at that level. Pena told me it was a rocky adjustment at first, but he credited his coaches for bringing him along and helping him get up to speed. And I asked him, who do you like to model your game off of? He said Micah Parsons of the Dallas Cowboys. He showed off his versatility last week, picking up his first career pick. Stone?
Embodying your game after Micah Parsons. You got a good role model there. Nice job, Zach. Good reporting on AJ Pena.
Stone, thank you. I just caught up with Rhode Island head coach Jim Fleming. He said he was happy with how his team played in the first half, specifically with the amount of big plays his offense was able to get. He expects this one to go down to the wire in the second half and for it to be a fight. As for the clock here at Meade Stadium, he says it hasn't been too tough for his team. He called it an ancient game and says it hasn't been too much of an adjustment here so far. Stone?
Thanks, Zach. That is so typical of Coach Fleming, right? He's been around this game for so long. I mean, hey, we've done it before, right? He's probably thinking we could do it without the clock.
Stone, we saw this drive set up at the beginning by wide receiver Marquise Buchanan, some plays down the field, and that's why he joined Rhode Island. That's what he told me earlier this week. He liked the way that this program moves their offense, and we saw that from the get-go at Georgia State. A long reception and a touchdown on his first career catch. He also had an offer from UNH coming out of high school, but another key reason he picked Rhode Island was being close to his family. The former Rhode Island Gatorade Player of the Year and Classical High School alum wanted to stay close to home and start in front of his family, which he is doing here today. I asked him who he models his game after, and he said Calvin Johnson because of his versatility. He does everything, the size, the speed, and the contested catches. We're seeing that here on this drive. Stone?
Stadium is the setting. Let's introduce you to the third member of our team down at field level, Zach Austin. Zach, how are you?
Thank you, Stone. Pretty good. And this weekend, homecoming weekend at Rhode Island, a tradition that has been going on now for 99 years. And Rhode Island, they're coming off a big win, a 34-30 victory over Brown that marks their 5th consecutive Governor's Cup victory. And it was a win that encompassed all three facets: offense, defense, special teams. Saeed Gibbs and Randy Jordan winning Defensive Player of the Week and Special Teams Player of the Week, respectively, in the CAA. This Richmond team, though, they have some momentum of their own, coming back down 14 to beat the Maine Black Bears last week. And on his quarterback, Cam Coleman, head coach Russ Huseman said he'll remain the starter as of now, and as long as they're winning, he'll keep playing. Stone?
We'll send it down to the third member of our team is also down there, Zach Austin.
Stone, thank you. Saeed Gibbs shined last week in the victory over Brown, Defensive Player of the Week in the CAA. Last year, came in as a freshman, played 4 games, but was able to preserve his red shirt. He wanted to play right away, but he credited the coaching staff, including former defensive coordinator Jack Cooper, for helping him mature more as a player. He also mentioned a couple of former teammates, Jordan Jones and Antonio Carter, who are not only mentors to him when he landed on campus, but are now lifelong friends. When asked about what his goals were the rest of the season, despite being in just his 2nd season, he said becoming more of a leader and someone the younger players can look up to. Stone?
As Stone Freeman and Kyle Rowley welcome you back here inside Meade Stadium. We kick it down to the 3rd member of our team, Zach Austin. Zach?
Stone, important update for the Rhode Island offense going to the second half. I just spoke with head coach Jim Fleming. It seems like Kasim Hill will be available. He said, when I asked him about his status, he'll be here. In terms of the rest of the game, the key takeaway from Fleming, turnovers. 3 first-half turnovers. He said too many mistakes in the red zone. In the second half, he wants to see them get a few back, win the turnover battle in the second half. So,
thanks. Well, with about 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter, we'll send it down to Zach Austin. Zach?
Thanks, Stone. I had a chance to speak with Rhode Island running back Gabe Sloat earlier this week. We saw him targeted a few times on that last drive. Coming on as a walk-on, he said he nearly had to beg the coaches to let him on the team. He said, looking back on his career, it's been a stereotypical walk-on story coming from North Kingstown High School. He's worked his way all the way up from walk-on, 2 years later getting a scholarship, and now as the starting running back for the Rhode Island Rams. And the best part about it, his family's been there every step of the way. Of course, just down the road, knowing that he's had success with this program, he says that they'll know that all his hard work has not been for nothing. Back up to you, Stone.
Yeah, there's Gabe's family. Great storyline, Zach, that you highlighted there, because the Sloat family comes out. They all wear his number 34 jerseys in the crowd.
Welcome back to Meade Stadium here in Kingston, Rhode Island, where the Rhode Island Rams lead the Stony Brook Seawolves 28-7. And I want to welcome in a special guest with us, former Rhode Island receiver Ed Lee. Great to have you with us. And so far, what's the environment been like hearing your return?
Oh man, it's awesome, man. It's bringing back a lot of nostalgia for sure. I just was walking in here and I was like, man, I just miss being here, miss playing with these guys, and they're killing it right now. So.
When you think back to your time at Rhodey, what stands out to you the most? What's the most lasting memory that you?
Just the environment, like you said earlier. I mean, there's nothing like a Rhodey Saturday at Meade Stadium, 1 o'clock. And nothing like a Friday night as well, too. So, that first home game is always turned up. The crowd is out here, sold out crowds. I miss it, man. I miss it.
After your college career ends, you get that phone call from Bill Belichick and the Patriots. What's that like, and what was your experience with Patriots?
It was a great experience. I mean, he's the greatest coach of all time, and it can't get any better than that. So it was a great experience. Hopefully I'll be back there soon.
And when you look at this game tonight and this team for the Rhode Island Rams, you look at this receiving core, Tara Summers, your former teammate, Marquise Buchanan as well. What do you like about this group?
Man, I mean, they're special. I mean, I knew him even from last year. And Marquise, he's grown up a lot, and obviously it's showing now. He's probably the lead receiver on the team now, so those boys are doing what they have to do, and I can't wait to see what they do the rest of the season.
Awesome. Thank you, Ed. Hope to see you in the pros again soon.
Yes, sir.
That's Ed Lee, former Rhode Island Rams wide receiver, with us at the half from Meade Stadium. Rams up 28-7. We'll be back with more at the half here on Flow Sports.
Thanks, Alexa. Hello and welcome back to another edition of your Rhodey Sports Corner. For the past 5 decades, Mick Westcott has coached URI's swimming and diving program. On March 30th, the longtime coach announced that he'll move on to start the next stage of his life. Our own Aniakon Okon sat down with him to talk about what the program means to him and what's next. Lacrosse was back in action last Thursday, looking to take their 3rd win in a row against the Yukon Huskies on senior night. With more on how the team did, here's Aiden Garvey. After starting the series back in March, softball hosted UMass on Tuesday for their 3rd and final matchup of the season. After being off for the last week, the Rams hope to use this rest to their advantage and avoid the series sweep. It was all UMass to start this one, with the Minutewomen leading 4-0 midway through the 4th. But the Rams got some life when Ari Castillo hit this one right through the middle of the field to send Leyland Alvarez home for Rhodey's first run of the day. The Rams then exploded in the 5th. At the plate this time, Alvarez pushes yet another shot towards the middle, giving time for both Skylar Rapuano and Rachel Zingerman to score. Rhodey cuts the deficit to just 1. A couple at-bats later, Castillo does it again. This time, she fires this one into the outfield for her 7th double of the year to help Alvarez pick up her 2nd run of the afternoon. Rams tied up at 4 apiece. But UMass bounced back when it mattered most. After a Taylor Richardson go-ahead run at the top of the 7th, Bella Bantoja drops this one in the left field, leaving enough time to drive home Kendra Allen and Christina Day to stretch the lead to 3. The Minutewomen would hold on, adding 2 more runs to secure the series sweep. 9-4 is the final. And let's take a look at the rest of your scores around Kingston. Men's track and field finished second out of 20 teams at the Northeast Challenge in Storrs. The women's team finished 4th at that same meet. The Rhodey men's basketball team landed their first recruit of the Archie Miller era. Former George Washington guard Brayon Freeman committed to the Rams this past weekend. Freeman was named to the A-10 All-Rookie team last season and has 3 years of eligibility remaining. And congrats to baseball's Addison Kopak and Eric Genther, as well as Colin Oakes and Jack Reichenbach. Kopak won A-10 Player of the Week, and Genther repeated as Rookie of the Week. Oakes took home Track Performer of the Week, while Reichenbach was the A-10's Field Performer of the Week. That's it for this week's Rhodey Sports Corner. Back to you. Thanks, Adam. Hello and welcome back to another edition of your Rhodey Sports Corner. After a thrilling 10-8 victory at Merrimack last Thursday, the softball team returned home looking to build off their momentum. With friends, family, and alumni in attendance, they hosted St. Bonaventure in a Saturday doubleheader as part of the team's senior day. We start things off in Game 1, Rams up 6-5 at the bottom of the 6th. Eric Castillo up at bat, and this one is out of here. Castillo's 4th home run of the season puts 2 more runs on the board for Rhodey to extend their lead to 3. Looking to close things out in the 7th inning, Liz Lynchard struck out 3 straight batters to secure the win, finishing the game with a program record 15 strikeouts. Rams take the first matchup 8-5. Jumping now to Game 2, Rhodey trailing 1-0 in the 5th inning. Margot Lesser gets out on a fly ball but sends Ainsley Yoshizuma home to tie it up at 1 apiece. A few plays later, Sammy Villarreal also found home plate to give the Rams the lead. Next time out in the bottom of the 6th, Castillo does it again. This one sails all the way past left field and beyond the Bonnies. The senior gets her 2nd home run of the day, her 5th of the year on the senior day to give Rhodey a 2-run lead. Lynchard's day wasn't done yet either. Looking for the Saturday sweep, the Rams turned back to their starter to begin the day, and it paid off. 3 more strikeouts, including this one to seal the game, secured the series win for the Rams. The final score, 3-2 Rhode Island. The Rams went on to sweep the series, downing the Bonnies 3-0 on Sunday for their first series sweep since 2017. The baseball team also hosted St. Bonaventure this past weekend in a 3-game series, after defeating Dayton in their first conference series 2 weekends ago. The Rams look to make it 2 in a row against their Atlantic 10 foes. We entered the action at the bottom of the 8th. Rams trail this one 4-2, but they get some life thanks to a quick bunt by Alex Ramirez for a base hit. In Rhodey's very next at-bat, Addison Kopak fires this one away for his first triple of the season, allowing Ramirez to run in for the score. Kopak brought home the tying run soon after thanks to an Eric Genther RBI that knotted things up at 4 apiece. The defenses prevailed in the 9th, extending the game to extra innings, but the Bonnies got the last laugh as a 2 RBI swing from Jackson DeJean in the 11th inning gave St. Bonaventure the lead for good. Rhode Island falls in the first game of the series. Bonnies take this one 6-4. Despite the loss, the team bounced back to win the series, taking Saturday's contest 9-3 before dominating in Sunday's rubber match 11-1. Men's lacrosse continued their 5-game homestand last Thursday when they took on UMass Dartmouth with a chance to secure their 2nd win in a row. Our own Ania Khan-Okon has more on how they did. And let's take a look at the rest of your scores around Kingston. Tennis fell to George Washington at home on Saturday. Men's and women's track and field both had top 3 finishes at Saturday's Ocean State Invitational in Providence. And congrats to Rachel Zingerman, Eric Genther, and Kellen Waters. Zingerman won A-10 Player of the Week after collecting 5 runs and 4 RBIs last week. Genther won A-10 Rookie of the Week after hitting .474 from the plate last week. And Waters set a program record for the mile with a time of 4:04:11 at the Friar Invitational, beating the previous record by nearly 10 seconds. And that's it for this week's Rhodey Sports Corner. Back to you.
And now over to Zach Austin with your Rhodey Sports Corner.
Thanks, Alexa. Hello and welcome back to another edition of your Rhodey Sports Corner. A few weeks ago, Gabe Sloat made his presence known to Rhodey fans with a 65-yard touchdown run against nationally ranked Delaware. But that wasn't the first time that Sloat made a name for himself in South County. Cam Simone sat down with the former North Kingstown football star to learn more about his gridiron journey. Sloat isn't the only local star putting points on the board for Rhodey. After 3 seasons at Notre Dame, Harrison Leonard returned to his roots and earned his role as the Rams' starting kicker. Joe Charette caught up with the Jamestown native on how his transition back to the Ocean State has been going so far. Women's club ice hockey began their season last Thursday, hosting Liberty University in their home opener. With the Flames coming off an undefeated regular season last year, the Rams had a big challenge ahead of them in front of their home fans. With the latest from Boss Ice Arena, here's Zach Petrick. And let's take a look at the rest of your scores around Kingston. Men's soccer finished the week 1-0-1, earning their first Atlantic 10 win in a thriller over St. Louis. Women's soccer also earned their first conference win, defeating St. Bonaventure on Senior Day. Volleyball fell on the road to Davidson. Tennis swept Monmouth in their home opener. Men's cross country put together a podium finish for the first time since 1964, coming in third at the New England Championship. The women finished sixth at the same meet. And congrats to Patrick Ajamong and Eric Zakalski, who earned Atlantic 10 Offensive Player of the Week and Performer of the Week, respectively. That's it for this week's Rhody Sports Corner. Back to you. Hello and welcome back to the Good 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. I'm Zach Austin. Thank you for joining us. Coming up, a look back at the official reopening celebration of Ranger Hall, then a glimpse into your week at URI. And as always, stay tuned for your Rhody Sports Corner. With the renovations of Ranger Hall's 2nd through 4th floors being completed earlier this semester, the Harrington School of Communication and Media held a grand opening ceremony on the quad last week, with a number of notable figures speaking at the event. I had the chance to attend the event and sit down with a Harrington School and brand ambassador to learn more about what went into planning the occasion. On Friday, the University of Rhode Island celebrated the official reopening of Ranger Hall, the Harrington School of Communication and Media's new home.
Welcome to the grand opening celebration. A really remarkable day.
The ceremony was held outside on the quad, with key speakers including Dean of Arts and Sciences Dr. Jen Riley, URI President Mark Parlange, Richard J. Harrington, whom the school is named after, and URI alum and CNN Chief National Correspondent John King. In his speech, King reflected on his time at URI and how important it is for students to take advantage of the opportunities that the school provides.
I can only tell the students who are here now, you might not realize it every day, but you're getting the same gift that I now realize I got when I walked this beautiful place.
Later on, Dr. Riley emphasized the importance of going into the field of communication and media, especially in today's digital age.
It's perhaps never been more important to study communication, to train bright young journalists, documentarians, and filmmakers, to find new ways of disseminating information, and to nurture great writers and communicators, all of the things that the Harrington School does.
Following the ceremony, guests were invited to the ribbon-cutting ceremony in front of Ranger Hall before the celebration continued inside. Guests went on tours throughout the building, while food and refreshments were served downstairs in the Harrington Hub. Daisy Gates is one of many Harrington brand ambassadors that worked the event. With an event of this magnitude, every detail had to be perfect.
So today we got here early. We got here at 9 and we were helping set up the tent. We were placing plants in places to make sure they looked good. We had to put the backdrop up behind the stage. So there are a lot of moving parts, but everybody was working really hard and there was a lot of planning.
As a Harrington student herself, majoring in communications and PR, Gates is excited to see what the future holds with the new technology available to students.
They're really getting some real-world experience, and it'll be one step closer to moving on to the real world.
According to Dean Riley, the newly renovated floors will open up 23,600 square feet of learning space for students. Reporting in front of Ranger Hall, I'm Zach Austin, 5 Cent Cigar News. Now here's your week at URI. Tomorrow, Friday, October 28th at 8 p.m., the Gender and Sexuality Center and the RKO Army are teaming up and getting into the Halloween spirit by hosting their annual showing of the Rocky Horror Show. The community can have some more spooky fun this weekend for a good cause. On Saturday, October 29th, the Engineers for a Sustainable World are holding the Eco Spook Fest Run, which includes a 1-mile race and a sustainable costume contest. The festivities will begin at 10:30 a.m. on the quad. Finally, Intramural Sports is inviting students to participate in an exciting battleship tournament on Wednesday, November 2nd. Teams of 4 will join forces with the goal of sinking their competition's canoes. Ships will set sail at the Toutel Aquatic Center, with up to 18 teams competing for the title. That's all we have for you this week at the 5 Cent Cigar Newscast. As always, make sure to check us out at RhodyCigar.com and follow us on social media at Rhody Cigar. From Kingston, Rhode Island, I'm Zach Austin. Have a great week, Rhody.